Welcome to the Clutch Buckets Podcast. My name is Josh Tyson.
And I'm Kyle Spence.
Their profession, our passion, your court. Check ball to you.
What's up, Tyson?
Good, Kyle, man. We back in
How
the
you
game.
feeling?
Man,
Always,
good.
always. What do? We take time. This
That's
is
what we
gonna be
do.
probably our second subtitle.
Yes.
After their profession, our passion, your court, we're gonna be like, we take time. We
To
take time
practice.
to
To
let things
practice.
season. That's
Right?
all it's all about. Let you never cook before, you gotta put the season in, let that thing marinate. So we marinating on
We
the
do gotta let it
season, no
sit
pun
for a little
intended. And now we just back to talk a little bit about what's been going on
while.
around the league. And we're going to start off with, again, one of Tyson's favorites, which is the Golden State Warriors. There are a few things that
Yeah,
has happened over the course of the last couple
a
of
lot.
weeks,
Great thing.
historical, in fact. And what we're looking at here, we're going to start with Steve Kerr becoming the Warriors' all-time leader with 558 wins in a regular season as the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Shout him out.
I think that Steve Kerr has been under some scrutiny from some fans, or
Oh,
not
most definitely.
necessarily fans, from the haters, about his ability to coach. But I feel like the record is speaking for itself, Tyson. What do you see? Do you agree?
Oh yeah. So the haters going to say it's all because of Jimmy Butler, but a coach has to integrate him into a system that works, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just the abilities of the coach. Think about, man. Steve Kerr came in with I mean, they just lost Clay Thompson. So they
Hmm.
came in season not knowing what system was going to work, who the flow was going to work, what pieces to put in, and they came out on fire. Of
Hmm.
course, they ran into a little slump as people began to figure them out. But man, that's you talking about Steve Kerr, man, able to adjust and readjust, man. Speaks volumes. Speaks volumes.
Okay. Well, I know that they are currently sixth in the West, and they are on a 9-1 in the last 10
Yeah.
games
14-2 since
situation.
Jimmy Butler. Come on with it.
14-2 since the acquisition of Jimmy Butler, which I have to be surprised. I kept saying, and I think I'm going to hold firm on my stance. It's not enough for the postseason, but I think I'm going to be
Wait,
wrong,
wait.
and
We
I just
just
have to
got
accept
Kaminga
it.
back. We just got Kaminga back.
You just got Kaminga back. He
Does
looked
that
good.
change your stance a little bit?
No, I don't
Oh,
have,
come
it's never like, let's have faith in Jonathan Kaminga and what he brings to the table. That's not your X factor here
That's
for me. But again, I may not be, in the words of Kevin Garnett, I'm not watching the games, P, as I should be, I guess, because I'm not seeing what you're seeing with regards to Kaminga. Great player, great role player, but not enough to where I'm thinking that this is going to be what brings y'all over the top.
Yeah,
But I could be wrong.
yeah,
But
yeah. Hopefully.
14-2 is huge. 14-2, having
Here
that
for it.
record in the West is
They were
huge.
sleeping.
And to be 9-1 in your last 10 games is also huge. I feel like Steph Curry is doing it more efficiently and more relaxed.
Much
And I
better.
don't know if, again, we've seen it with other teams with new acquisitions, they have their honeymoon phases.
Hmm.
Is this still a honeymoon phase, or do you think this is for real, Tyson?
Yo, I think it's for real just to the simple fact that Jimmy Butler has revitalized Curry. Because remember, man, he was in a slump. This dude didn't even look like he was enjoying basketball. Because, I mean, if you know you're on a losing team, you've been losing, you know you ain't going to really go into the playoffs. That's tough on the mentality, especially for a
Hmm.
winner. Now that Jimmy's back there, man, you talk about an essential piece who can do it all on the floor. I mean, from the defense, rebounding, free throws, scoring. He doesn't even have to score much to make an impact on winning the game. It's a beautiful thing, bro. I'm here for
I'm here for y'all winning because that puts y'all in a different stratosphere.
it.
Meanwhile, Steph Curry just had history. He made 4,000 threes,
Come on with
and
it.
the first NBA player to, in fact, do such a thing. And we already know what his averages are. He's been as high as, I think, maybe what, 43% from the
Yeah,
three-point line,
yeah.
averaging at one point. But this is monumental. I respect it. I'm impressed by it. I don't think anyone can shoot as great as he can from the three-point line. There was discussion over the time, about his clutchness, but that has been quelled in my mind after seeing him in the Olympics, man.
It's
I'm
been
like,
built to
all
be.
right,
Yeah,
but that's
everybody's
a
sleeping on that.
night, yeah,
Yeah,
be on
all day.
night, that situation. Cause I was like, yep, I'm just wrong.
By the
And I
way,
have to accept that.
real quick, can we point out the fact? So I like Draymond and everything, but yo, his night is one of the lamest nights I've ever seen.
It's a little
Just let
heavy,
Curry
isn't
do it.
it? It's a heavy night.
It's
It's
way too.
wild.
It's awkward. It's stiff. It's like, yo, man, you just point to Curry and just let him do it. To be like, all
That's
right,
all.
just that's
We're not
all.
asking for
Leave it be,
much.
bro. It's
We're
just,
not asking for
yeah,
much.
man. It looks like you slapping your head a little bit too hard, man. It's come on, man. Just leave it be. Leave it be.
Uh, can we pause for a moment and talk a little bit about what Draymond Green's antics are looking like, or is that too much? Am I putting too much sauce on it?
I mean, is it still a thing?
He's now he's had this like seemingly spat with
The
Carl
cat.
Anthony Towns of the New
Yeah.
York Knicks,
I mean, he ain't even.
where
Go ahead. Go ahead.
what was the criticism? He said that he did not attend a game and he was not feeling it. Is that what it was? And then Kat was like, "Well, I had to go to a funeral." Is that how I'm supposed to
Yeah, that's
interpret
how I
that
started. That's how I
scuffle or
started. Like
beef?
Draymond was out of pocket for because he was saying that Cat was dodging because he actually had to go to a funeral and miss a game. I think it was with Jokic against the
Okay.
Nuggets or something like that. And Draymond pointed out the fact he's like, oh, he's dodging. He always dodges when he faces his team. And it
Okay.
was kind of grimy because this dude was actually attending a funeral. So, Draymond didn't know to his credit, but you kind of should find out, kind of first. But I don't know. But then on the court, it was hilarious though. Cat drew his third foul. And Draymond pointed to his bench, talking
Go
about
to the
to the
bench.
bench. And he
Yeah.
had to, as much as he fought it, he had to go to the bench. He was just calling him soft. I mean, I mean,
I don't know.
does Cat to you since he's been playing for the Knicks, does he fit into that Knicks tough persona now? It's
He's trying.
he's trying his
And
hardest. At
can
least
we
he's
give
trying.
him, I'll give him credit for
Yeah.
trying. That's all I can do at this
All right.
point. Like
All
he's
right.
he's really trying to put his best foot forward to
Yeah.
say, you know what, I'm going to be tough as nails in this situation as a Nick.
Yeah.
And
His voice
that's
even
all I
got
can
deeper.
ask.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
And that thing be changing all the time. So for
yeah.
him to have really been working on trying to
Yeah.
keep it low, like, yeah, he's really trying to put in effort. So I don't have any issue with that. I
No,
really
no,
don't.
no,
Um, I've
no.
seen his own team member, Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson,
I
reacting
saw
to
that.
him
I saw
like,
that.
"Oh my gosh!" Like every time he gets the ball or a foul, it was hysterical. And I was like, "Golly!" Even
It's
your own
hilarious.
teammates recognize, like, you really do be whimpering a
Yeah.
little bit out there.
It's over the top. Because if you were not watching it and you just heard it, it sounded like it was coming from the WNBA.
It
It's like
does. It's a little different.
it's a little
But
different
he's
now.
doing his thing.
Yeah,
We're going to get to the standings in a few,
yeah.
but I definitely want to put a bow on it as far as Steph Curry. I want to first
No,
recap. He
congrats.
actually did shoot his best, I believe, in 2012 with 5%, I think, that
Wow.
2011, 2012 season. And then the second best was in the 2015, 2016 season, where, of course, they were championship
Mm.
contenders. In fact, I think they won that season with 45%. So he's a little under 43% three-point average,
Yeah.
which is huge. Again,
Easy.
nobody does this. Nobody
Nobody.
does this. And even
Nobody.
in his this this career or this season where he's a little under 40 at 39%, he's still putting up big numbers and making
Mhm.
historical marks, to which I don't know who will be the next person to attain it. I think it is within reach, unlike LeBron James's 50,000. Is it 50,000 or 40,000? How many
Oh,
points did LeBron score?
man, that's one I keep up stats with.
50.
So
It's
that's
50. It's 50.
it is okay.
I don't think that will be attained in this ever again. But
Nah,
Steph, I do think
too many
people can
years in
hunt
here.
that down,
Yeah,
especially the way that the game is played. But again, shout out to him. Does that
right.
make him an MVP contender? No, but we do know who was in the MVP race, and it looks like Nikola Jokic has now reclaimed the number one spot as in the MVP
Unfortunately.
ladder. Do you agree with this, Tyson?
Well, man, come on, y'all. Yeah, the dude always has three, man. You gotta respect the game and be able to give it to somebody who is making an even more impact on his team. Is his team is SGA's team not number one? Are they just
Yes.
not smacking folk out here, man? Like, come on. And this dude is almost averaging 40 points a game. How many 50 balls does he have to put out there, man? It's like, come on, at some point, y'all gotta. I mean, y'all gave Steve Nash at 2 years in a row, and it could have been Kobe's. Like, come on, y'all. This should be easy. It should be easy.
Is it though?
Like
If you're
Jokic is
having
doing this.
your best statistical year of your entire career and then your
I
top
hate,
three in everything that
I hate,
counts,
I hate.
do you think that that is the league being unfair? You
So
are
it,
averaging, I'm gonna give you this and then you could
yeah,
definitely chime in 10.3 assists,
yes,
the
yeah.
best of your
Yes,
year or
it is.
career.
It is.
You are averaging 12.8 rebounds, the
Yes,
best of your career.
yes,
You're averaging 29.1 points,
yes.
the best of your career.
Right,
And then you're in the West and you're third, and you're
right,
really tied for third.
right.
Now, I know you're 13 games behind Thunder, but you're still
13.
tied
Say
for
that.
third. You're still tied for third, but you're 13 games
Right.
behind
First.
SGA and
Yes.
his team.
Right.
Do you think it's unfair for them to have him in this position?
So it's based on how do we judge MVPs, right? So most valuable player of your
Yes.
team, right?
Yes. Yes.
So we got to judge where the team is at, right?
Well,
That I mean, technically, you got to judge where the team
yes,
is at. Because if you're
but
the most valuable player of that team and two people are competing, you got to then weigh out, okay, where is that team? Who has a
mhm,
better record, right? And
mhm,
SGA, I mean, they already claim playoff spot. Already.
yes, they
Already.
clinched.
So
I
they
have a
claim.
question.
Yeah.
If SGA is not playing and Jokic isn't playing, who has the better record in 10 games? The Thunder or the Nuggets? My
Definitely,
theory.
definitely a Thunder. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you.
So
I'm with you.
when we say the most
No, no,
valuable
well, no,
player,
because your boy Jamal Murray, that's when he steps up. I'm
I
just saying,
don't know if Jamal Murray has been stepping up the way that we want him to.
he
Now
has
he has
another
stepped it up
all-star,
so far. Yeah,
right?
he's
He has,
but hold on. Jalen Williams is another all-star too.
he's not an all-star. He didn't make all-star.
I think he was a reserve. He wasn't a reserve? Hold
Who?
on. All-star. I'm gonna look this up as we speak. Yeah, he
Oh,
was
he
named
was.
a
You're right. You're right.
2025
Yeah,
NBA
yeah, yeah.
All-Star.
Yeah, he take that one. Yeah, he take that.
Yeah, so you got another all-star there too.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is if the absence of a player determines how valuable you are to the team, I can see the case for Jokic. Now, that aside, I don't want Jokic to win it. He's won it so many times. And
Yeah.
I don't want it to be like when we always had a conversation about Jordan and LeBron and Kobe, where we like, man, they didn't get all the MVPs that they deserved during the
Yeah.
year. Shaquille O'Neal always complaining, whining about the fact Steve Nash won it
Very
a
wide.
couple years or whatever.
He did.
I think I'm a boomer in that sense because I kind of agree with it, where I'm like, man, y'all can't keep giving it to the same person because Jordan
No,
didn't get it every year. So why y'all giving it to
exactly.
Jokic every year?
Exactly.
So my boomer moment says, nah, you got to give it to SGA.
Got
They're
to.
winning and he's qualified. But at the same time, I certainly see the case. And if he gets it, I may be a little annoyed from my, boomer perspective, but I get it. I get it. If you're doing, you're literally beating your best, and then you're tied for second, essentially, in the West. You clearly have a case to be made. So him being number one,
That's tough. Not with my team being number one. Because if the roles were flipped,
yes.
SGA was have had Jokic's numbers, but the Nuggets were absolutely dominating,
Hmm.
and the Jokic had SGA's numbers, and they were in first place, but the
Hmm.
Thunder were in third. They
Hmm.
would automatically give it to Jokic.
I could see that case being made. I don't know if it'll happen because, ifs and wishes, all of these things, but
Right.
I can see that. I can see that being a probability.
They wouldn't even be thinking about SGA for real.
What's that?
They wouldn't even be thinking about SGA for real. If he was
They'll think about
Water
him, but
Wayne
not
Robin
like that.
third, not like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah. But you're also you're coming off of the trails. If you've made a name for yourself as an MVP, it's hard to kind of lose that scent, as it were. So you're always going to be in the running, and because SGA has not been an MVP yet, I can see how that's impacted him. But we'll see.
yeah.
Again, kudos to both of these gentlemen. I do think that they're number one and two with
Mhm.
regards to this MVP race. I wish my team was there as far as Jason Tatum is concerned, which I think he should still end up top three, maybe top four.
Mhm.
But regardless of that, kudos to both gentlemen. Now,
Cool.
switching gears, we come into the culmination of the regular season. They're going down to we're getting ready for the playoffs. Everyone has ramped up their gameplay. For some, for others, we're going to look at, AKA Philadelphia 76ers. But
Yeah.
for some, they have actually, locked in. They're trying to get their seating right. And what we're seeing out west is that because of the gap that we talked about, that 13-game gap between one and two in the West, and I believe in the East, it's about a 7.5, 8 game difference between the two. We recognize that the Thunder is a contender. Uh, do you feel as though the Suns are actually throwing in the towel?
It's a wrap for them, man. Like,
Man.
man, dude, I saw this clip, man. Durant, when they were calling out the players, you know how they get up, they announce their names. Durant wasn't even in there. He didn't come out until like the game actually started, man. Like that, this dude is really looking like he don't even enjoy playing ball anymore.
I don't
But the
even
Suns
remember
out there,
that.
if you look at their demeanor, like they're just out there. They're not
Yes.
even they're not even really competing because they know. I mean, they're in 11th. They're not even in the play-in spot. So
Hmm.
that at this point, man, they're not even trying, man. I mean, it's sad to see, especially with a baller like Durant in his final years, man. I hate to see it like this. But I don't know, man. That'll be tough. That'll be tough. It's a wrap for them, man. You know they're gonna blow that all up in the summer.
Can they? Well, what happens with Bradley Beal's contract? He is under a no trade clause as it currently stands, but what happens when summer comes? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So if they can blow it up as far as release him from the team in the summer because the contract has expired,
yeah.
then cool, I'm with it. Um, I hate seeing Durant's talent go to waste. In fact, believe it or not, I used to hate, not hate. I don't really hate anyone like that. But I
Mm,
never cared for Devin Booker. But now I like Devin Booker. And I
mm,
actually don't like to see that his talent is going to waste either.
yeah,
These are two really accomplished people with the ability to score the ball and even do some decent defense work as well. And
yeah,
it's just a shame that they are currently, as we're discussing it, 11th in the West.
yeah. It's
They
tough
have
to see,
won
man.
4 of their last 10.
Yeah, it's tough to see, man. I was thinking about this morning, man. I really want to know how Booker feels. We haven't heard from Booker at
That's
all.
true.
Like he hasn't
Except
come
when
out of
he
media.
was, did the coach call him out? Who called him out? Someone called him out. I think it was a coach called him out on media, like in the media for something that he may have done on the court or
Oh,
did
really?
behind the scenes. So
Mm,
there are some little, scuffles behind the
yeah,
scenes that we're probably not privy to.
yeah, man. I mean, as a competitor, because you know Booker is a competitor. Yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
you seen the life go out of him, man, especially these last couple months, man. It's tough to see. It's tough to see as compared because at the end of the day, this was supposed to be the team. This was,
Yes,
I mean, three as Bradley, Bill, Booker, and Durant, man. And it's wild, bro, because you see how they're scoring their points. Durant could score 25, Booker could score 30, but you see it's not having a huge impact on the game itself, especially
exactly,
because of the defensive lapses, and the
exactly.
lack of chemistry, man. Man, it's tough.
It is tough, and you're absolutely right. That's what I'm seeing as well, where it's like if you're not an impact player, then what are you playing for?
All right.
And, again, Durant loves the game. He talks about it, he cries
Gotta
about it. I'm
respect it
not saying that facetiously. I actually respect the dude because he
all
cares
day.
about the game and what it means to the fans as
Yeah.
well. So him not being able to actually play
Compete.
valuable, yeah,
Yeah.
compete, man. Like, come
It's
on, yo.
tough,
I'm
man. I
not
really
feeling it.
wish he would have. I mean, now that I see Jimmy Butler and what he doing on the Warriors, man, I don't know
Yeah.
if we would have wanted him, but I wish he would have gone to another team.
Yeah.
Trade
And it's
deadline,
probably gonna happen. He just didn't want to get traded during the
mid
regular
season.
season,
Yeah,
but we'll see what happens soon enough. But while the Suns are still sinking and they're on their sunset, we see the Houston Rockets launching off. They're still second place
still
in the
doing their
West,
thing. Yeah,
tied again with the Denver Nuggets
and
for
Memphis.
the second,
Yeah,
and Memphis too.
they
Yikes,
got
man,
Memphis
it's
at
so
43. They
tight.
all 43 and 25, man. All three of
They are, that's a very
them.
tight race, man.
Locked
Is
in.
that, do we still think Houston is a real contender?
I mean, we got to respect them at this point. I mean,
Okay.
I think any of the more veteran teams like the Lakers, Clippers, even Golden State, I think that's who they want in the first round because they're a young team. They haven't experienced the playoffs in a while, man. Not since
Mhm.
Harden. You know what I mean? So that's the challenge I think that you want first round. Um, but. I don't know what you feel, man. I mean, in terms of what I see, they have a lot of talent, but I think they're in that, like the Thunder beginning stages of really trying to figure themselves out. You know what I mean? Even though they've been winning.
Yes.
Yeah,
And that's where I think they're still a baby
yeah,
and they're still trying to get their wits about them.
yeah,
To be this high and to be that hunted now is something that it probably not experienced for I don't know how many years at this point. So I
yeah,
don't think that they're going to fail per se. They're just going to experience more experienced teams in the playoffs,
yeah,
and that's going to be their Achilles heel. I do think, just like the Thunder, like you said, give them a couple more years,
yeah,
and they will certainly be considered real contenders.
yeah.
Because there's no way I could say in my mind, man, the Rockets are coming out the West and they're gonna beat whoever comes out the East. No, those are tried and true teams. I don't see that happening. I
Nah,
don't. But they're doing well.
they're doing their
Uh,
thing.
I'm more than impressed
Yeah,
what Ime Udoka and his coaching staff have done with the players that are there.
I love how he's turned
But
it around, man, and turned his career
yes,
too. Yeah, I love that.
his career around as well.
I'm with it.
And that's a testament to how good of a coach he is.
Yeah,
Like, never get it twisted. He was always a good
he was
coach.
always a beast. Yeah.
Right.
By the way, we still
Now,
never got the details of what happened. I would, but
oh, I
that's
know the details, but
uh,
that's for the
oh, come
Clutch
on, man.
Gossip
That's
podcast, not the Clutch Buckets podcast. But
that's
when
the
we get
nightly.
that
That's
Clutch
the nightly
Gossip
one.
on,
That's the
like,
nightly
yeah,
one.
like, so I heard. So in the meantime, now we're gonna shift out east where the Cavs are just cruising. They
Hey,
did lose to finally
finally,
to
right?
the
16 game
someone,
win streak.
Orlando Magic, I believe.
Yeah,
15-game win streak. They
yeah.
snapped it. Was it 15 or 16?
16, bro. 16.
16. Yeah.
It was on one, man.
Sheesh.
Yeah, bro. And you
And
know how
here's
tough
what
it
I
is?
said, Tyson, on social media. I said, don't let me find out that I'm starting to become a Cavs fan. I low key
What?
like them. I didn't know I would be this way.
What?
I hope it goes away. I
I never
might be
seen this.
having some fan flu, but with a little bit of medicine, some orange juice and rest,
See,
this will go away.
I really think that for me. And for other people, it's an appreciation to you because you are a diehard Celtics fan, but also you're a connoisseur of the game. You appreciate the game of
I
basketball so
appreciate the
much
game.
you can respect other teams. And I gotta
Oh my
respect that, dog.
gosh.
That's love.
I
That's
appreciate
what's
that,
up.
Tyson,
Yeah, man.
because the way that they are playing with such cohesion,
Man,
and when one player is down, two
somebody
step up
steps
in its
up.
place.
Somebody steps up, dog. They deep.
Oh my
They are
God.
people
Yes,
don't
they're
realize
they're
how
a deep
deep they
team.
are. Yeah,
That's a very deep team.
yeah, man.
Evan Mobley has been playing outstandingly.
Lights out.
Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen. Like these guys have like formed
Yo,
something that is just
even the
it's
people coming
beautiful.
off the bench, Jerome has
Yes,
been, but Ty Jerome has
yes,
been balling. By
yes,
the way,
yes, he
Struz
has.
is one of the rare Miami
That's actually
role
playing
players
well
that's
outside of
actually balling.
Miami.
Like he's still in the starting lineup. Ball, like this dude got handles now, driving to the rack. Just it ain't
Yep.
just all 3 pointers. Like I'm like, all right, bro. All right,
Yeah, I'm
respect it.
thoroughly impressed with them, and it's
So,
not really just the streak matters, of course,
yeah,
but the fact that I see them playing
together.
together.
Yeah,
It's not
that's
just
key.
your hero ball type
Nah,
game.
nah.
So I me going to the last part, Boston versus Cavs for the Eastern Conference Finals. I can see it. We have a strong team. I don't think we're as deep as the Cavs
Yo,
from a
deep.
bench
Deep.
perspective. From
Yeah.
a bench perspective,
That by the way, you
I
forgot to
think we're
shout out your
okay.
boy, man.
Oh no, I come into Peyton
Okay,
Pritchard
all right,
now.
all right,
Nah,
yeah.
yeah, I got to point out the 220 3-pointers that
Yeah,
Peyton Pritchard has shot, making it the most in NBA history
for
for a
sure.
player off of the bench.
For
This
sure.
man is averaging about 41% from three-point line this
It's
season.
absurd. Especially coming because
Lights out.
he heard what the critics were saying in the finals run. Because in the
Yep.
playoffs run last year. Because he didn't shoot
Like
too
you
well.
gotta hide
He
him.
didn't
There's
shoot
like you
too
gotta
well.
hide him on defense, and he ain't really about that action. And I
Right.
remember when he wanted to get traded because he didn't feel as though he was gonna get enough playing time. Now look
Yeah.
at this dude. He's
Look at
like our
me
little
now.
mini Isaiah
Look at me
Thomas, like a little bit of our IT when we had IT on our
now.
team.
Yeah, yeah.
So, man, if those two clash, it's gonna be beautiful.
It is.
It's
It
gonna be
is. It is.
beautiful.
Yo,
So we're go ahead.
nah, I was gonna say, man, yeah, them, yo, moving real quick. I wanted to make this point, man. You know who everybody's kind of sleeping on though, man? Them Clippers. Kawhi is
Clippers are good.
healthy, and Harden's been balling. I don't think
Yes.
anybody really wants to see them in the first round. Cause I think we're gonna see if a healthy, fully healthy Kawhi in
Mhm.
the playoffs, it's different, dog. It's different, man.
It
Just
is.
throwing that out there, man.
I will always say that I'm gonna sleep. It's not because of what they're showing, it's just who they are.
Yeah,
When it
yeah.
counts the most,
No, it's
injuries are well abound.
yeah.
And I don't want that to unfortunately be the case here. If they're healthy, a healthy Kawhi and a healthy Harden, oh
Yeah.
my goodness, they're playing well.
Right.
Harden is not an all-star by accident.
But
He's
you,
legitimately put himself in that
yeah.
position. So
And but
this
you
would be
you
beautiful.
sleeping on the bench though, man. You forgot who they
I
got.
am. I am
Forgot
sleeping
who
on the
they got.
bench. Who they got? That
Ben
is
Simmons, dog.
How is he doing anyway? What has he done in the last 10 games?
He did
I'm gonna
14
look that
minutes.
up.
He did
I'm gonna
14
look that
minutes
up. He had 14
yesterday,
minutes of
and he
play.
had 0 points.
That's okay. What was his impact? Let's
Zero
see.
points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. He was a +7, but to be fair, everybody else on the team. So James Harden was a +36, Kawhi
Okay.
+21, Zubac +29. So if he got in the game at any point,
Okay.
it was going to be a plus just because of how.
That's okay. Listen,
That's
he had
a
I think a season high, no, not a season high, but he did have like a good 8-point game,
oh,
uh,
whole
some
eight
some
point.
some
Oh,
games back.
what's
So
up?
that 8, 4, and 3. I'm telling you, man, y'all gotta watch out
That's a
for
difference
B
maker in the
Sims.
playoffs, man.
I'm joking. I think that he's right where he needs to be.
There you go.
That's the
We gonna
nicest
roll with
way I
that.
could say
We
it.
gonna roll with
You're
that.
right where you need to be. Now,
Yeah,
speaking of his former team, the Philadelphia 76ers and the Dallas Mavericks, of course, not
yeah.
his former team being the Dallas Mavericks, but the Philadelphia 76ers, they're experiencing the worst curse from the basketball gods.
Mercy.
They clearly hate them.
Goodness
Clearly
gracious.
hate them.
Jeez.
Now, one, we can see everything ripping and popping on the court. That's the Dallas Mavericks. But for the 76ers, they are under investigation. I hope you know that. Tyrese
Oh, that's
Maxey
what I'm
told them
saying.
to
Yeah,
give
it
them
was,
Paul
bro,
George because it's
bro.
like, why y'all sitting these people out
Why
so
y'all saying
long?
it? Right. That's what, man.
There's something sketchy about this.
Yeah, man, we gotta look into this because my thing is I understand Embiid, but now y'all why y'all benching Maxi? George, yo,
Yes.
I am counting 10 people on injury reserve right now. Injury and
Mm.
illness on just the Sixers, just for the Sixers.
Just
And
the
then
Sixers alone.
we move over to the Mavs. My bad. We on the Mavs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9.
Mm.
Yo, they said when they were warming up, because they played each other last night. Both teams were warming up. They said it looked like a rec league. They said,
Mm.
they
Looking
said
like the
really
G
anybody
League.
out there. Oh man, it's
That
tough.
is crazy, man.
I've never you talking about you went from especially the Mavs potential contenders
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Kyrie, with
AD.
AD, Klay Thompson to now, man, they talking about draft picks.
Yeah.
Like, dude, with the Sixers too, it's like, man, that's tough, bro. It's tough.
And
I don't like it for the game because I really wanted to see, especially the Sixers and the Mavs compete in the playoffs, but that's tough, man.
and there's rumor that AD might not even stay there through the off season, and then they just send him to another team. So
Word,
I can see that. I don't think AD
word,
wants to be there. They might trade him off in a three team trade, get KD to the Mavs to play alongside Kyrie and
bro.
Klay
That
Thompson.
reunion again. All right.
I would take that.
I'll
I
take
would
that
take
too.
that.
Yeah, why not? Especially, somebody who gonna try their best to be healthy, who doesn't get injured that much. Uh,
Correct. Because they need that.
they need it.
Um, because man, just dropping like flies. Well, either way, we both know that at least to the naked eye and to anyone who watches some reasonable semblance of basketball, they're both out of contention. Of course,
Yeah,
the Sixers, but the Mavs are going to drop. They're going to
yeah,
continue to fall. They're 2-8 in the last 10 games.
yeah,
We expect that to happen. And I don't care about the Sixers at all. So they're going to probably drop as low as the Hornets by the end of this regular season.
yeah,
So they're just there for the lottery picks that comes with it.
yeah.
Well, sorry to those two teams. We're going to keep them in our prayers as they try to
Uh,
recover from this financially and physically at this
Mercy.
point.
I know the
But
same hurt.
that is actually all the topics that we wanted to discuss for the Clutch Buckets podcast this episode. Thank you all for tuning in. As always,
Appreciate
we
y'all.
sincerely appreciate it. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. My name is Kyle Spence,
And now I'm Josh Tyson.
and we out. Peace.
Yeah.